things. So we did a post and we listed not only the Mayflower, but some of the B&B inns in town, just to get the word out about those as well. So that's kind of it on the PR side for now, but I'm confident that this summer will get picked up a lot, you know, so let me know if too many people are coming and we'll slow down. We don't want it to turn into Disneyland. Wasn't that one of the comments on the POCD when Dan was involved years ago? We don't want it to be Disneyland, so.
I don't think there's a danger there. That's pretty.
I always thought that was funny.
No, and that's great. It's exciting. I mean, the state is doing a lot to really try to promote, and it's so great that Explorer is already hooked in to you know, so that we get to benefit from some of the promotions that they're doing.
Yeah, we kind of learned what they like, and that photo actually had a dog exploring at Macrocostas at the boardwalk.
Yeah.
So we know that there's like an algorithm, every certain number of photos, put a dog photo. And then you can pick one. So I think we're homing in on that. So, and interesting, there's going to be a dog shop in town. So it kind of says something. There are a lot of dogs in town. So
I can speak from personal knowledge that the pet industry is just booming.
Right.
Everyone in the world got a dog, it seems, during COVID, and Michael cannot hire fast enough.
Wow, that's interesting. So that's a good business for the depot then. I think that'll work out well.
It seems like it's got potential.
So the only other thing is the services directory, which is completed and live. So I don't know if you want me to show it or just tell everyone where it is. It's up to you.
How does everyone feel about that? Do we want to see? I mean, we looked at it in design phase last time. I think what's really important is that we really figure out how we're going to promote it and how we're going to solicit the businesses that we've missed. And I see Lisa joined us, so that's great. So maybe Fran and Lisa, you guys could jump in a little bit to talk about that if you're ready, maybe.
I guess maybe I need to look at it closely. So I didn't know it was live. So now that I know that's live, I'll take some time to look at it, and then we can meet about it separately. I don't know, we could meet separately and talk about it, and maybe at the next meeting talk about our plan. I want to look at it first. I don't know, Fran, what you think.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was live either, but I think that makes sense. But it would be nice to get back to you ahead of the next meeting to you know, give you some feedback, but I haven't looked at it. But I'm excited that it's here.
I am too. And thank you so much to Julia and your team for taking something that seemed so daunting for so long and just making it happen. I think it'll, you know, we'll learn from this. It'll be a work in progress. But by it being hosted on the website, we can easily edit and add and take down. So
yeah, I'd like to bring in some of this, maybe a couple of service businesses that I know, and have them look at it and see if they have any feedback or ideas too, just since it's really more affecting them, and they might have some input as to, you know, launching it as well.
That's a great idea. It was interesting. I can't remember if it was at the last meeting or if it was just a conversation I was having with Julia, but I ran into you know, a local tradesperson, and I said, oh, you got to make sure you give me your information so we can put you in the services directory. And he didn't want to be in it. He said, I am so busy just trying to take care of the clients I already have.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting position. I said, well, if it ever slows down, you contact us and we'll put you in there. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it's received, you know.
I mean, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, having said that, I should say where we got the business names from, right? And how we decided where they, you know, who to list. So we took every service business that was on the WBA website. We started with that. On top of that, if we knew, you know, Michelle filled us in on a few service businesses who weren't WBA members, we added them. When we had done research about interior design and architects, we found a few others, so we added them. So we sort of built the list. We did not ask anyone for permission. We did double check some of the content, but our assumption was they'd want to be listed. If that's not the case, we can certainly take people off. And we created the categories and subcategories, which everyone approved. So hopefully everything makes logical sense. There's a box, so you could search like catering or spas, salons, and everything's sort of categorized and subcategorized. Having said that, we can change things and tweak things. So after Fran and Lisa have a chance to look at it, and anyone else who has any comments, we're happy to tweak it. We would love to start pushing it out. Like, one thing we can do on the June 1st e-news blast is let people know that the directory is live. So in terms of homeowners, residents, here's this great resource. And part two, if you want your business to be listed, there's a form on the page and they submit their form. Do you think we could get feedback by June 1st so that we can include it? Because I think it would be good, you know, with people doing all this work on their homes and needing services, it would be great to get the word out. And the sooner we get the word out, the sooner people will ask us to add corrections or update things. So
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
okay, great. And then the other thing is, maybe, I don't know if it's going to be in the print newsletter. It sounds like it's pretty full as it is.
I did not add it to the print newsletter. Explore is always there in some form or fashion.
And then Jim can also push it out.
But we can
as
put it in the
well.
selectman's email.
Right.
We can
Okay.
put it in the selectman's email. And the other thing, I'm not usually on social media a lot, but there is that Washington community Facebook page where they seem to ask the questions, hey, I need to get my car fixed, who do you recommend? Or hey, I need somebody to, you know, it's sort of that kind of board. So we should at least probably once or
Right.
twice let them know, hey, that this exists.
Right. Okay, sure. Good. Oh, and it's /services. So it's explorewashingtonct.com/services. And that just redirects to the page that has the directory, the live directory.
Okay. Great.
Sure.
I think we should probably at some point, and maybe you can think about this when you're thinking about the visual for the newsletter, but print up a flyer. You know, it could be a bookmark size or a postcard size, you know, whatever kind of size that directs people to the services directory, you know, and maybe we could put those at the grocery store and the library and Hickory Stick, you know, a couple of places for people to pick up to just kind of help promote it.
I think that was something that the WBA had offered to do with Julia once the services directory was live.
Okay.
Yep.
Right, and if we do it in print, that would be great to do after it's been vetted a bit, you know,
Yeah.
so we know we don't have any major mistakes on it. That would really be great if we can do it that way.
Yeah, so
But that's a
maybe
good idea to get the word out about it. for
maybe
sure.
sometime in the summer after, like, let it be live for June and kind of get some feedback, and then come July, think about a print flyer. I mean, we can always think about a postcard too, promoting Explore as well as the services directory. So
Right.
think about that for the future.
As long as you're talking about the social media blasts each month, just post us on we've introduced Julia to both Stephanie and Gracia, and she had already reached out to and was introduced to Tyson and Jennifer up at April. So we're going to be promoting that with the blast as well.
Good. That's great. Because those are some exciting things happening this summer.
Exactly.
Oh, and is there going to be the concert on the green? That just reminded me, the series of oh, I think Pastor Robin had to leave, but did that
Yeah,
ever
no, we've been talking
materialize?
about, I don't think so. They have not reached out to the church to ask for the building. And so we tried to reach out to them to just see. Also, Tammin was on the last Arts Council meeting, and it didn't sound like they had the, it's the Washington Friends of Music. And
Oh.
I don't think there's going to be a concert series this.
No, I mean, was the Poe going to be doing music?
Oh,
Outdoor?
that definitely
Yeah,
is
that.
happening. That is
Oh,
happening.
okay.
Sorry.
It's
That's
okay.
on Fridays, starting June 11th, I think.
Is there more information somewhere about that?
I don't think so. They were,
Okay.
we're supposed to have like another follow-up meeting. They were working on the lineup, and then they were gonna kind of work on a flyer or a graphic. And I think that was the last meeting there was, so.
Okay,
I'll
so
check
maybe
in.
we can mention it and just say check back on the website for the
Oh,
information.
yeah, so you're talking about the June 1st?
Yeah,
That's like a week and a half.
it's already here.
I'll get something to you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, even if it's just save the date, that's fine.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because, you know, the problem is the cycle, you know, the cycle for the quarterly newsletter is quarterly and then we're monthly. So sometimes folks don't have their event information together by the first of the month. And we make sure to bother them the week before, but sometimes things just are not put together yet, which is
Yeah.
understandable. That's why we always tell people check the calendar for everything. So,
Right.
but yeah, that sounds like a really fun concert. So we want to make sure to write something
Yeah,
about
it's going to be a series of them. So I will make sure that they get something to you by next
it.
week.
Okay, great. Excellent. Okay, good.
With any other questions or comments about the services directory? I think this would be, unfortunately, Jim had to leave for a meeting and so did Pastor Robin, but I did talk with Jim today, and I talked with Jeff Hammond a little bit about the CDC new mask recommendations and update, and the fact that the governor is supposed to be letting us know by tomorrow. Actually, while we were sitting here, I saw alerts come on my email that the governor sent a couple things about recommendations for outdoor events. And I suggested to both Jeff and Jim that we kind of come up with a town, I don't want to say policy, but sort of a recommend. I mean, this is a very fluid environment, but we've got the farmers market starting this weekend. People are going to want to know, hey, what are the rules? What's expected of me? Do I wear my mask? Do I not wear my mask? And the stores are going to be able to operate at their own comfort level. So, yeah, it's just, we're in an interesting time right now as we transition to new norms and new regs. And I think we want to be in communication with each other. I'm glad Fran and Lisa, you're both still here. I don't know if you've talked or you're still processing, you know, what am I going to do with that information?
We are requiring masks for the time being. I mean, there are a lot of unvaccinated people. And I don't think we're going to fight with people about it, but I mean, we'll have the sign, we'll have masks at the door, and we're continuing, staff will continue to wear masks, and we're going to ask the customers wear masks for the foreseeable future.
That seems pretty reasonable. How about you, Lisa?
Kind of the same, you know, we're still leaving the sign up that masks are required, but not fighting people who come in with no masks. And it's already happened. All weekend, people didn't have masks on, so.
Really?
I'm expecting it to not be, I don't know, maybe 80% of people will wear masks. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But like I said, I had a bunch of people that were as soon as the governor said that it was happening, I think they missed the part that said Wednesday.
Right.
But again, I'm not fighting people. I already fought people about wearing them from the beginning. So no interest in doing that, but we'll be wearing them.
Okay.
I would say that, I mean, you know, it's a different situation. It's obviously a lot fewer people that come through than go through the market. But in general, we have not had a problem. I mean, we've had occasional situations, but it has not been, and I hope it continues that way. And we'll have to figure out how to address it, because the staff is definitely not comfortable with people without masks.
Right. Yeah, it's a really challenging time we're in this transition, and with the CDC just dropping that, you know, kind of out of the blue without a phasing. So I think, I'm sure by Friday, Jim will have thought more about it. We're going to be requesting that people wear their masks when they come into town hall. He said probably for at least the month of June. And so we'll just keep you know, an eye on it. And I think having sort of uniform messaging may be helpful, but it's
That
not
would be very
mandatory.
helpful.
Yeah, but it's not mandatory. So
Well, no, but at least as a baseline.
yeah, right. So yeah, so I'm interested to see what the governor, what they say for tomorrow about the outdoor. You know, I think outdoor masks are really not going to be required moving forward, but that indoor, it's up to the individual businesses, and I think most people are sort of on the same, feeling the same way that you are, Fran and Lisa, that you're still going to ask for them. You're not going to fight people, and we'll see where things go. So we'll just continue to be in communication.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sure, sure.
And wish us luck.
Yeah, I know, right? That was a real challenge. I mean, it's one thing, they keep saying no mask if you're vaccinated, but there's no way to prove that, and nobody seems to be making a stand on that component of it.
And nobody wants to be a policeman.
No,
I mean,
right.
That's
Right. So I'm sure Jim will probably talk to the COVID recovery team as well that did some of the messaging before. We can kind of keep an eye on the numbers as a community and, you know, think about what we are most comfortable with. I think still indoors for June seems very reasonable, at least masks inside for June. Until
that would be helpful.
Yeah, and we'll keep watching the numbers, vaccinated as well as COVID. You know, vaccinated is we're doing really well, and cases we're also doing well. So,
but the problem for businesses is not all our customers are from Washington.
right.
There you go. I'm going to have to sign off.
Okay, thank you, Michael. I know we're losing people. They're dropping like flies here.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Did WBA have anything else, or anyone else here have anything else they want to share? Any other reports, comments, questions? I will say that we have the block party coming up June 4th, the first Friday in June. And that's exciting. When we first started planning, because of COVID, we were even wondering if it was going to happen, and now it looks like we're all full steam ahead. So that's exciting. Anyone else? No. All right. I'm sure I forgot a couple of other things, and I should have had Jim go first before he had to leave for his meeting. So thank you all very much.
Michelle, before you go,
Yeah.
Is the shredding still occurring this Saturday?
Yes, it is.
I mean, it wasn't part of Jim's newsletter last week. So
Okay.
I've had a couple of people ask me about it, and I said that I thought that it had been announced as such, but it will be a disaster if it doesn't occur. And
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
people are, I mean,
I
based
know,
on,
because they've been saving since that last one didn't happen. John did ask me about it today because he was worried about the parking of the trucks for the farmer's market, but because I guess they usually unload and then park back there. But
okay.
I think the shredding starting at 9, I think. So hopefully they'll be most, the bulk of the people will have gone through before. You're right. It was in the selectmen. It was in like 2 weeks ago.
2
but not-
weeks ago, but someone asked me today and I went through what was a very detailed newsletter last week, or the selectmen's letter last week, which had lots of information, but it wasn't there.
Okay. I will, I'll ask if that goes in as well. I put a little star there, just so people are aware. Maybe a sandwich board too. We have a lot of stuff going on, the town meeting and all the other meetings. But yeah, we'll get the shredded information out. Shredding. Any other questions or comments?
What about the time for our next meeting? Did you talk about it
We
earlier?
did not. I kind of just figured we would go back to our regularly posted meeting. What did you guys think? What is evening easier? I know Lisa, 9:30 in the morning is never usually good for you.
Late afternoon would be okay, but 5 o'clock is not terrific.
It's a drag, isn't it? I know. So late afternoon, like 3 or 4, you would prefer?
Yeah,
I mean-
I could go, yeah.
How about you, Lisa?
Yeah, I could do that. Same with Fran, if that was
All right.
convenient for other people.
And 9:30 is definitely not good.
9:30 on a Tuesday, definitely not good.
Okay. I will poll, I'll send out a poll to everyone else as well to see, if one is better than the other. We'll try to go with where we can get the most people. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be the same for everyone else. I don't think it matters. All right. Oh, I forgot to also mention, I just saw, Wayne, that you're still here, that we were hoping to have the census data presented at this meeting, but it is not ready yet. So Wayne will keep us posted, and as soon as we have the new census information, he will share it. I forget the ETA on that.
It's not good. It's probably, they're now saying maybe August.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
wow.
Okay.
Blame it on COVID.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks for staying to the end, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm
My
gonna get
my
some work done
battery's
until
done.
the 7 o'clock meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
Good night.